What's up, guys? This is Teddy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video we are going to be finishing, or not finishing, we're going to be starting our edit controller. And the edit controller is not too much different from our create. Obviously we are still creating data in a certain sense, but an edit controller is just the way that it sounds. Like you're going to be editing a certain model, or you're going to be editing a certain entity. And the first thing that you obviously want to do is you can't really do anything without a controller. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to start working on this controller. So I'm going to go task, iAction controller, or iAction result. And we're going to do edit. And then the way that the edit is different from the create is that we're actually going to pass in an int ID. And with that int, we are going to go in here and we're actually going to go get our club entity. So we're going to go get by ID async. Then we're going to go ahead and pass in that ID. Then we're going to go check. We're going to do a quick little check. We're not doing a ton of validation in this app, but this is just a nice little form of validation. We gotta have at least some validation. Then we go down here and we're going to set up a view model. And we go down, view models are pretty easy to set up. And the reason why we set up view models for even the edit and we have each one individually is I think that it just makes your app, number one, it looks cleaner and it gives you a nice controlled place to actually kind of worry about the typing of your models, if that makes sense. So each individual, so a lot of times you'll see like view bags, and the bad thing about view bags is that view bags and view data can just get unwieldy. Sometimes view bags or view data can just, like I said, get totally out of control. So we implement a view model instead of doing that. And I don't know whether it was like, you know, the chicken or the egg, or the view bag came and then people finally caught on to view models, but that's just kind of the standard way of doing things. You still see sometimes a view bag or view data will make sense in certain scenarios, like when you just want to do something very quickly and you don't want to actually fool with the actual view model. But for 99% of the cases, it makes sense just to put data that you're passing into the view model. Prompt string, and like I said, it just looks more aesthetically pleasing and it forces type checking on your app as well too. So another great reason. So we're gonna go down here and bring in our edit view model. Then we are going to go back. So go back, and then we're going to actually create this view model. Like I said in another video, we could bring in AutoMapper for all of this, but in this case, I think that AutoMapper might be doing us a disservice, because AutoMapper can bring in tons of complexity, and if you don't need AutoMapper, I always say if you don't need it, don't use it. But you definitely could use AutoMapper, and I've actually got a video on AutoMapper as well too, in case you just definitely want to use AutoMapper. And I might actually bring it in later if this if we start just having tons of more mapping, I might actually bring it in, but for right now. So club category, then we're gonna have to add a URL to our, we're gonna have to add a URL here. Club category, and while we're here, let's just go ahead and return the view, and that should be it. So go club view model. Great. Then let's go to our edit view model. So we're gonna have edit. Go ahead and bring that to the side here. Yeah, we're gonna have to bring in our addresses too. Forgot all about that. So we're gonna have address. So that is going. So the address is an int. We're gonna have address ID. Then we're gonna go to here. Then we're gonna have address. Great. Awesome. Then we're going to have this URL as well too. Prop string URL, and if you notice, these are actually different from the actual model, and you can do that. A lot of times data that you're going to be passing to and from is just going to be existing on a view level, and it's not going to actually be existing in the database. Another good reason why we have view models. So that is spelled wrong, and hopefully once that gets spelled right, it will look good. And then here, we're just going to go in and create so that we actually can view our data. We're actually going to go in and create our edit. So we go in here, we create our edit, and we're just going to call this edit. And it's sounding like a broken record. You got to make sure that this name right here actually matches our method signature within our controller. So whatever this is are the name of, and I put a CS file in there. This actually needs to be a view. So the name of our view needs to be the same as our method. So we go in here, we go edit, and first thing is we always want to bring in our view model. So edit club view model, and make sure that it is, and I accidentally just started the app. I don't even know why. Okay, great. So if you want to type this out word for word, you can do that, but I'm going to just go ahead and copy and paste this edit in here, and I'm just going to go through and explain, because it's so similar to the other ones. I'm just going to go ahead and just go through and explain line by line the method or the changes that I made. So key important point right here, I added what's called a hidden field. A hidden field is very, very important in HTML, and it's one of those things that people don't talk about. So when we add our address, we need to have a hidden field because we need to store the address ID for our address, and we'll need to actually add hidden fields for our user as well too. So when you actually start this app up, let me just go ahead. We'll go ahead and start this app. So, and hopefully we don't have any errors. So we're going to go ahead and run it. We've got an error. Okay, so our app is working. It was just a error within Visual Studio. I don't know what that was. Sometimes Visual Studio gives you errors. Just kind of the name of the game, but it happens. So we're going to go here. We're going to go within our edit, and as you can see, I've already been testing this out. So we need to add a link for our edit button, and in order to do that, we're simply just going to go to our index. We're going to go into our little area here where we have this button, and we are going to add, let's see, I can just copy this one, our ASP controller dot route ID. Then we're going to go in here, and this one is going to be edit, and we're going to leave the route ID as well too. So we go in here, and I think we have to restart it. So we go in here, we go club, we go edit, and I forgot we can't have, this can't be a button. For some reason, ASP .NET buttons don't work correctly, or if you have a button with an ASP helper tag in it, just for some reason it won't work correctly. So need to keep note of that. Okay. All right. So we've got our club, and we've got it editing, and we've got it so that it's actually passing data to the model. That's the reason that we had this pulling our club. So whenever this model first gets going, we need to populate this. We need to populate that model with data. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a edit. It would be a create controller. And the way that we do that is we go out to the database really quickly. We go get the entity by this edit that we passed in. So we remember we passed in this one right here, and we use that one to actually go get the data. And we get that one because when we populate the list, this is really important. When we get that one, we populate the list, and we actually have that one, and we can go fetch by it. And that gives us the ability to go to detail pages. Watch. It gives it, like I said, it gives us the ability to go, that goofy picture. It gives us the ability to go to detail pages, and it gives us the ability to go to edit pages. And that's pivotal. It's a very important thing that, like I said, a lot of people, not that people don't, like, they want to deceive you, but a lot of people don't mention that about, like, kind of how important that is to web development and development in general, is having edit pages and having, ways to edit. So we've already got that figured out. The next thing that we need to do is we actually need to create the post. And this is actually edit post are pretty complicated, and especially the fact that we have a photo that's backed up to Cloudinary, it's gonna be a little complicated. So just hang in there, and we will get through this thing together, hopefully. So we go here, and then we're gonna pass in an int, and then we're going to pass in an edit club view model. So when we actually do this, and I'll show you what it looks like, we're going to be passing data to the server. So model state.isValid. And we go here, and we're going to go model state. We're going to do a little bit of validation. We're going to go model state, add model error, and we're going to have failed to edit club. So for some reason, our model state is not valid. It's going to go ahead and it's going to add that, and then return view edit. And then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to pass in our club view model. Then we're going to go to here. We're going to go var, and then just like our previous our edit, we are going to go out and we are going to get the user club from the database. So we are going to go here, and I'm going to show you guys something very it's a gotcha. So we will say get by ID async ID. Then we're going to go in here, and if we have a user club, so if user club is not null, we're going to go in here, await, then we're going to go out to our photo service, and we are going to delete the user, we're going to delete the photo. The previous photo that the user had, if it succeeds and if this user has a club, we're going to go in here, and we are going to, let's see here, we are going to delete the previous photo. So it's going to go out to Cloudinary, it's going to delete the photo, and then we're pretty much going to create, let's see, add model error, could not delete photo. And then if we couldn't, we're just going to go ahead and return the view. So club model Great. And if that works out, let's see here. So we're going to go here. So we're going to go photo service. And we're going to go add photo async. So if that succeeds, then we're going to create our image. And we're gonna need to go in and add that one later. So var club is equal to new club. Then we go down here, we have ID is equal to ID. So we're just gonna go ahead and pass in that ID. Then we're gonna have club VM, we're gonna have title. Of course, we gotta add our description. So we're gonna have club VM.description. Then we're gonna have our image, and our image is actually going to be a photo result.url. So whatever Cloudinary actually returns to us is what we're going to pass into there. And then we're going to update our address entity. It's equal to club VM dot address ID address, and just for safe measures, we can go ahead and pass in that entity. But we could just get away with just adding the address if we wanted to. So, and after we get done with that, of course, we're going to go into here and we're going to update this in the database. It's a lot of work. And return after that, we're going redirect to action, and if that works, and if all else fails, what we're going to do is, let me see here. We're gonna do else. Wait a second. I think we could just get away with what we have right now, but we still have to go into our club VM and we need to add this image. So we're going to have user club. Let's see. Add. So the photo result, we actually want to add, yes, this image right here. So we need to figure out what the actual image is. So what is the problem? We have an issue with this view model, and I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. So go here, edit club. And for some reason, it's not letting me go to the view model. Okay, so I figured out this actually needs to be an iForm file. Forgot that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see if this thing runs. Okay, so we got some kind of logic issue here that I'm trying to figure out. So go here. Oh, okay. So up here, I do not have. Okay. And then if that fails, let's just redirect back to the view. So we'll say return, then view, and if that fails, we'll just return with the club view model. And I think that is it. So we go in here, got an edit, got a club edit, say, just capitalize this. I'll show you. So I'm just gonna capitalize that, go edit, make sure I choose an image, go with the React logo. Go ahead, click that. And we'll see what happens. Obviously, I think something went wrong. So go here, and I don't have an image, so it's saying the image. So if we're gonna edit, and you could change that later if you wanted to make it so that if it did have it, or if it didn't have an image, you could do that as well too. So go here. For some reason, the model state is not valid. Let's see. So valid, so the URL, so the way that you can check model state really quickly is if you just hover over it and look for the words invalid in the validation state. You can quickly tell which is invalid, and then you can tell which one. You go into your account right here. The URL field is required. So let's see. Let me see here. And we can make this one optional. So in order to make it so that it doesn't have that error, what you do is you put the question mark in front of it, and then you should be good to go. So we go here and so edit, give it a React logo. So user club is equal to null, then it's going to delete the photo, goes down here, then go to the add form file, and it's going to add the photo. And it's going to go down here, it's going to try to update the club, and this method or operation is not implemented. So we haven't actually went in and implemented this method just yet, but very easy to do. So we can just easily go in here. Let's see, we're going to go to the repository, then we're going to go to update, then very simply we're just going to type in context.update. We're going to pass in the club, then we're going to return save, just like that. And that should do it. But it's not going to, because there's an error that I want you guys to see. Okay, let's see here. So go back. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's edit this thing again. Okay. So we go here, and let's go ahead and let's edit. Let's actually edit this one. So we're going to go edit. Then we're going to give it a React logo. So go in here, model state. Okay, then it's going to go out. It's going to get the club. It's going to delete the photo. There was no photo to delete. Then it's going to add a photo. Then it's going to go down here. It's going to update the club. But it's not going to, because when you are tracking, so this is another gotcha. So if you are tracking two context at the same time, this is the actual error that you're going to get. You'll get an instance of entity type club cannot be tracked because another instance of the same value is already being tracked. So if you're tracking two database contexts in the same controller or the same context, that's the error that you're going to get. And the way that you can beat this error is you go into here, go into the implementation, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just make another method that is by no tracking. So we're just going to go down here, we're going to add no tracking, and then go down into here, and we're going to say as no tracking. As no tracking. And then we need to update our interface. So we're going to go into our interface. So just go ahead and type that one. And we're going to say no tracking. Get by ID as no tracking. Great. Then we're going to go back to here. We're going to add no tracking. And go ahead and restart it. And that should do it. So we go here. We're going to say edit. Gonna go add just a random picture. Hopefully that'll work. So it's going to delete that photo, and then it's going to go to the add photo. It's going to add new club. It's going to pass it to the update, and then it's going to redirect to the index, and voila, we have edit completed. So let me check how much time that we have. So we're only at 7 minutes right here. So let's just go ahead and let's do the other controller. So we're going to go into our controller. We're going to go into the race controller, and we're literally just going to copy and paste the same exact process that we did for the club controller. So we're going to go in here. We're going to go to edit, and we are going to do the same exact thing. So go in here, and we're just going to change all the clubs to races. So race, race. Great. And change race, 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 race. No more club. Great. And then we're going to create a edit race view model. Very simple. So we go in here, and let's just go ahead and copy all of that into the race view model. You bring this into there. We're going to go race category. Just like that. Bring that one in, and then we're going to go into the edit, and we're going to shut this down. Let's see. And then we're just going to go into the race folder, and we're going to just create an edit very quickly. We have that, and then go back over. Like I said, just copy and paste this thing over. We're going to go over here. Just like that. Remember, we need our hidden field because we need to be able to track the address in the background. So we have this one. Yeah, this is why I love MVC. MVC just saves so much work, because this would be so much work in React. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's go back and let's just go ahead and do the post. Actually, let me make sure. Let's go ahead and get this thing running first, and then we can worry about race category. Please work. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's also hook up the link to it as well too. So we're going to go into the link. We're going to go into here. We're just going to get rid of this. And yep. So we're going to go here. Make sure we got our item ID and make sure this is edit. Let's go ahead, let's make sure this thing works. So go here, and we're going to go to the running race, go to our edit, and we've got that figured out. So we've got that figured out. Now we need to go in to here and we need to create our post. So right click that, we're gonna go all the way down here and we're just gonna toss this little rascal in there. So go in there. And we're just gonna go out and take all these clubs out. And let me just make sure I'm getting all of these. So race VM, race, and then we're going to go up here, we're going to copy and paste that. All right, great. And then we're going to go into the repository here. Go in, we can just click here, go into the implementation. Then we're going to go to here, going to paste this one down. Change this to no tracking as no tracking. So there is our method for that. And so need to go into here and need to actually implement the repository. So we're just going to go implement the interface. So we go down here, get by ID, no tracking. And that will handle that. And it might work already. No, it's giving us errors. So let's go ahead and see if this thing will compile. So we are compiling as we speak. We're going to go into races. Then we're going to go into here and we will add a Xamarin logo to our running race. Boom! And that, let me go ahead and make sure, let me set a breakpoint and make sure that that actually worked. So we're going to go into here and let's edit the Xamarin logo and let's give it my Python hater video. So we're going to go here, edit. Let me make sure this is working. It might not be working. So we're going to go in here. Model state is valid. It goes and gets the user race. And I'm going to just go ahead and change these. So go here, edit. Just give it some kind of crazy name. Give it some cool, give it a server room as the race room. All right, so going down, seems to be working. It deletes our photo. Something went wrong there. Or did it? No, nothing went wrong. Then it goes down here. It's getting to, looks like it's updating our race. And it's gonna add it's adding our image, and then it's bringing us back to the index. Boom, that's our edit. Edits are difficult, so if you made it through that, congratulations, you're doing a good job. Anyway, that's gonna be the edit video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching.